Well, hello everyone. How are you doing this evening? I'm Eve with the baby's booty, and I missed you guys. I missed you guys a whole heck of a lot. So I've been gone. I had to take off last weekend because I wasn't feeling my best. And besides, if I'm remembering correctly, something was going on last week. I can't remember what it was. But at any rate, no purple wig tonight. Number one, I ain't feel like being hot. Them suckers is hot, okay? So tonight is not the night to be hot. But aside from that, I did miss you guys. We are going to work with what's called rhinestone fabric. And the reason why I'm doing air quotes is because I don't want you to confuse rhinestone fabric with actual fabric. It's not like the physical fabric, but it is basically a rhinestone um, palette, so to speak, that you can customize and make your own. And we'll show you how to do that. But for now, we'll just say fabric, all right? And we're going to work in the software tonight. And after working in the software, we will hopefully be able to cut out what we make and then put it on a shirt or something so that you guys can see it. So at any rate, I am going to probably not so much go into saying hi as much as I want to say hi. And that's because what I found is the more I run my mouth, the more I cough. And I feel like coughing my head off tonight. Okay, Stacy A. Bear. I don't want to cough my head off tonight. And then y'all be like, oh my gosh, she ain't no better. No, I'm a lot better. So it's like, bruh, I had pneumonia. They were saying it was viral pneumonia, which doesn't make sense because I thought viral pneumonia was like from a virus, but I've been on antibiotics. I've been on so many. I'm so sick of antibiotics, y'all. I'm sick of antibiotics. Because they put me on one antibiotic, then they gave me a shot, and it seemed like it went away after the shot, but then it came back. So then they put me on a completely different antibiotic, and I'm still taking that antibiotic. So, but it's then cleared up a good bit, and I do feel a lot better. So, at any rate, for those who were concerned and asking, thank you so very much for the well wishes and prayers and checking on me. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. There are some days I don't remember that anybody ever called or texted or whatever. But for the most part, I feel a lot better. So that's that. I am going to go ahead and show you how to work with the rhinestone fabric, but I do see a couple of bell rings. So I definitely want to do that. Candace Lewis has signed up to be a new member here on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Candace Lewis. Holla! Yes, honey. Yes. Thank you so very much, Candace Lewis. And welcome, Miss Harrington. I want to say your first name. I know I'm a butcher it, so I'm not gonna do that. I haven't seen your name before, so that's why I'm definitely saying hi to you. Let's see, and hello to everyone that say I really want to say hi to people. I really do. I really do. So I'm sending a hug. Here's a big old hug. Hi, it's good to see you again. For everybody that came back in. D Smith, a member for 24 months, says thanks for the best 2 creative years. Love you lots. Thank you, D Smith. Holler. Love you too. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Lena Doyle, a member for 38 months. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. And then we got Nicole Reeves for 39 months. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes, I appreciate it very, very much. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't skip something. Okay, there we go. We got Mama Vi for 36 months. Holler. Thank you so very much, Mama Vi. Holler. Did I say Lena Doyle? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, the brain ain't all there. So I'm gonna be trying. I might mess up, but Lena Doyle, did I ring for you? If not, 38 months. Because I don't remember. I apologize. That's just how crazy it's been. Stacy A. Bear, thank you. Holla. Y'all honey for 12 months. Welcome. We've enjoyed Stacy A. Bear. And Tammy the Bag Lady for 21 months. Y'all honey. Yes, thank you so very, very much. And we got Michelle. Hi, Sheila Cushionberg. The hug was much needed. I'm glad you got you a hug, my dear. All right, you guys. So let's see. Let's jump into this, y'all, because it's a lot to unpack, and there's a lot to go into. So when you're working with rhinestone design, somebody asked this in a Zoom the other day, and they were saying what program to work with the rhinestones. Can you do rope? Should we do Leonardo, or should we still do silhouette? And there are still quite a few people who are still in Cricut, and some folks have other programs, right? So let me know in the chat if you work with rhinestones at all, like bringing in a rhinestone design, getting it ready to cut out. If you do that, what software program are you primarily using? Now, for the longest time, we were recommending Silhouette Business Edition. And I started out saying Make the Cut, but then Make the Cut kind of like went out of business or something. They kind of like went away, but then they came back. And when they came back, they were more expensive than what they were before. So Silhouette Business Edition was just the better choice financially, honestly, because it was a one-time purchase, and that was that. You don't have to worry about any fees or anything. And you could do a whole lot more with Silhouette Business Edition than you could with Make the Cut. So that's why I made the switch over to Silhouette. And then I had an awesome teacher to teach how to do Silhouette. So that was a plus, the expert Miss Patrice. And then I also own the Rhinestone Wizard. So I have that as well. But I was using that a different way with the rhinestones, but we're not going to go into the Wizard tonight because that's a fairly pricey program for most people. So we're just going to focus on Silhouette Business Edition. But I'm also asking because if you use Leonardo, we'll take a look at doing this in Leonardo as well. Okay. I see. Hey, Angel B. Thank you, Melody. I appreciate that. Beverly Smith says Silhouette, trying to learn Leonardo, Silhouette. Sure cuts a lot. Sure cuts a lot is good. It's just there's a slight limitation there. You try to bring business. Oh, we'll show you how to do that, Miss Rosalind. It's not difficult. Kelly, Silhouette Business. Creating Silhouette Business, but bring it to Cricut, Silhouette. Hey, did I say hey, Angel B? Hey, Lolo. I'm watching both of you. Okay. Silhouette, Cricut. Okay. Silhouette. Silhouette. Okay, so the majority of the folks use Silhouette and Leonardo. And Sunny says you were just looking this up. Sweet. So hopefully we can help. Silhouette, Cricut, watching Delana and Preach Critic Show. Oh, y'all, I was supposed to be over there watching So Good. And y'all, I have been, okay, listen, Linda. Well, technically this ain't a listen, Linda, listen. I've been sick. I have been like down and out. Like I ain't been down. The last time I was down and out like this, I was in the hospital. But that was in a way worse. That was actually worse because that was bad. That was a horrible situation back in August. I was in the hospital. But this, it kind of like took everything out of me, y'all. That was crazy. So it was like I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to drink. I just wanted to go to sleep. That's all I wanted to do was just sleep. And so I've been like in the bed. I get up for a little bit, look at something, do something super brief, and go my butt right back to bed. It was like I was trying. Inside, I wanted to be up doing stuff. I wanted to take care of stuff, but my body was like, no, lay down, And so let's see, when did Friday, Patrice, no, was it Thursday or earlier Friday that I came on live in the Facebook group? That was my first time like being outside and feeling good enough to be upright. I was just outside and it was brief. I was live for that brief moment. And then somebody went live and I got off of the live. I think it was Delonda. So that might have been Thursday. And then Patrice invited me over. She sent an invitation. So I accepted it. So Friday was my first time, like Friday evening was my first time back, like really being in front of the camera and doing stuff. So I'm behind on so much stuff, getting out freebies, the tattoos I haven't gotten them out, and I think there's a shirt or something I haven't gotten out. Quite a few things, right? And so there were a couple of times because the supervisor's mom comes and helps me out here, and there were a couple of times she came to work and she had the supervisor with her. Y'all, I barely remember my baby being here. Barely. So today, I guess it was maybe about 6:30, about 6:30, 6:30. I know it was 6:30 because I remember looking at the clock and saying, I'm pretty sure Patrice and them were coming on at 7. And it was around 6:34. I heard a car pull up and I look out and y'all, I saw my baby. So I was like, oh my God. And so he came and that just blew everything else out of the water. So I didn't get to watch them because I had him here briefly and they came and picked him up maybe about 20 minutes ago. So I missed so good. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay. So I didn't know they were on because I completely forgot. I had my supervisor here. So it was good to see him. Thank you, Joanna. Let's see. So no worries watching both of them. No worries. And if they can hear me, don't worry about rushing because this is stuff both of y'all know how to do if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not worried about it. Thank you, Bias LLC. Hey Kevin. Hey Carol Coleman. Kevin said been there. Ooh, I wouldn't wish this on nobody. I know, Cheryl Green. I slept till dang near 12. I slept till about 12 o'clock today because of being on so late with them. It was fun. It was a lot of fun and it was funny. But yeah, that was my first time. That was like I hadn't been up like that in a minute. So yeah, that was funny. Okay. All right. So let me show you. And several of you guys said Cricut. I'm gonna see. I should be able to do this in Cricut, but I don't know because Cricut. Well, we'll go into that. So let me really quick show you what we're talking about when we say rhinestone fabric, which is kind of ironic that this is a part of that. There's some designs this week. There are some designs, rhinestone fabric designs, in this week's set of designs that the Rhinestone Mechanic offers each week. And it's just ironic because there was a little window, I'd say midweek last week, where after they gave me the shot and I felt better for like a period of 24 hours, I was feeling good. So I got my laptop and I had a design in my mind that I wanted to do, and I was working on that. And it's super simple, but I finished it and it reminds me of rhinestone fabric and especially how I wanted to do it. And so I'm going to show you guys that as well, so that you can see this and possibly even put it up on the website, but we'll see. So at any rate, let me share screen. Hey, Marilyn. Let me share screen and show you what rhinestone fabric is. So this is the Rhinestone Mechanic. This is his website. Matter of fact, let's do this number right here. This is what he calls rhinestone fabric. Now, I wouldn't have known any other name to put it, but rhinestone fabric works, right? And so these 4 here are what is in the offerings for this week. And then here are some other fabrics. You got flames, you got honeycomb, you got chevron, you got waterfall, which is, always one of my favorites. You got this scatter, you got checkered fabric, and then let's go to page number 2. And on page number 2, you got a more even dense covering of fabric. And then here's this. So there's a couple of ways you can use this. Number 1, you can use it like fabric, so to speak. So if you wanted to say go down the front pants leg of some jeans like me and Patrice did a few weeks back, you could very easily use any one of these and repeat it to create the fabric. Not necessarily these because it's round, but the more square ones. You could technically do that. That's one way. Okay. Really quick, let me go here and go to our category to show you. Here is the 4 that are on sale this week down here. And then you've got Be Original, Be Real, Not Perfect. And then what's that say? Pray big, worry small, trust God, laugh more, stress less, and have faith. So these are all in the offerings this week. And then you've got a mystery box with 2 designs in it that are super awesome as well. So this is what's available this week. So let me also bring up Silhouette Business Edition. Let me close this out. Let's go yes. And then in Silhouette Business Edition, I'm going to show you the fabric. Let me merge it in and show you how to use the fabric because I've already done it. Matter of fact, that's what's on my shirt now. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, knucklehead. Okay. So let me bring that in. Boop. And then I'm going to bring it over here. So here is we're going to start out with Silhouette Business Edition. Okay. So here is how I bring mine into Silhouette Business Edition. Now, let me explain to you why I would be careful with bringing in the files to Cricut Design Space. So, for instance, this is the file. This one is burst number 2. And he has a file right here. Let's see, extra large. So he has a file right here that says Design Space. It says Design Space. This is optimized for Cricut users. This one does not say Design Space. So you can bring this file into Silhouette Business Edition and you can bring it into Leonardo Pro, okay, and work with it and save it and do what you need to do. This one is not optimized for Cricut or Scan and Cut. This one is, okay, and I'm gonna show you why I'm saying optimize. So when you bring in his designs, he's courteous enough to bring them in with a bounding box, but there is a reason for the bounding box. The bounding box helps you line up your designs. Now, normally for me, I don't line up. I normally don't use the bounding boxes that are provided because I'm a miser when it comes to my rhinestone flock. And so I'll move the box and make it smaller to fit, like this might be that big, but this one might have been smaller. So I shrink my flock so that this box and that box doesn't match. But in this instance, the box is super important, especially for this design. Okay. And I'm going to show you how that works. So when you bring in his designs, notice what it says right here. Bounding boxes are exactly 11 inches by 11 inches. That's good to know for a couple of different reasons. Number one, your mat on Cricut is 12 by 12, but we can't cut 12 by 12 with Cricut. So knowing that your size is less than what it needs to be on the Cricut is super good. You need to know that ahead of time. And number 2 is so you can double check. So once I click on one of them, you see down here, it says 11 inches. And also if you come up here at the very top, if you can see my cursor circling around, it says 11 inches right here as well to show you that, yes, this is 11 inches. This is 11 and this is 11. Okay, so that you can double check the sizes with your measurements and make sure that it comes in correctly. Let me, in the background over here, I'm going to go ahead and open up Cricut. I haven't opened it in a while So it just hit me. Let me go ahead and open it and make sure I don't have to do any updates or whatnot. So I'm going to let that do its thing in the background. Okay. Yep. It's downloading an update, Lord. Okay. So what he's providing with this, if you open that file up in Silhouette, he's offering this, which shows you what the finished design looks like. If you want to cut everything out all in one color, not separating any of the colors or anything like that, then you can cut this one out. And notice the bounding box is not locked to the thing, but you can cut that one out. If you want to cut out your colors separated by layer, then you can delete this one and take that away. Okay. You can take that away. You can open the file in Silhouette to show the compound path. Okay, that's cool to know. I did not know that. And technically, in a way, I still don't know what you're talking about, but it'll be all right because my brain ain't working the way it needs to work tonight. So I'm going to delete the wording because we already know it's 11 by 11. Now, when I say that a file is optimized for Cricut, let me show you what I'm saying. Oh, cool. It let me come in the design space file. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you. This is the bounding box. This is the scatter, right? So with this file, I can ungroup it. Because I can ungroup it, it's not optimized for Cricut. Let me explain. Matter of fact, I can show you. Those who use Cricut know that there's layers in Cricut, right? For everybody that uses Cricut or has used Cricut, you are aware there are layers along the right-hand side. Matter of fact, let's open, since it's there. No, I'm not doing what's a face. Let's bring in this and that and that. Okay, so here's Cricut, and everybody knows over here are the layers. Okay, well, come to find out, there are layers in Silhouette as well. Layers is right here. So come all the way over to the right-hand side. Down this toolbar is right here, fourth from the bottom. This is your layers panel. So when you open up the layers, see it says group. Then it says polygon, which is talking about the gold square. There's the other polygon, and this is the other group. So when you click on this group, which is right here, I can ungroup it. So once I ungroup it, what happens? It turns into all of these individual polygons or circles. Where Cricut used to, now I haven't tried it lately, and from what I understand, they've been making great improvements. So it might work right now over in Cricut. But in the past, whenever I would bring in anything like this with all of these dots into Cricut Design Space, the Cricut Design Space would have a whole hissy fit, and it would take 15 years and 12 days to open this file. And you be sitting there twiddling your thumbs, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. Why is my computer not acting right? Why is Cricut not opening the file? This file is trash. I can't get it to open, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what it was. The file needed to be optimized for Cricut. So what optimized means is, instead of, and I'm going to do this, but I'm going to change it. See how all of these are individualized? If I right click and make it a compound path, look what happened. It turned back into one polygon. It's the same amount of dots, Cricut. The same amount of dots. It's just that they're not individualized, and I can't ungroup it and break it back down. I can in Silhouette. But in Cricut is like, oh my gosh, that's just one picture. Thank you so much for bringing in just one picture. when Cricut honey is still a page full of dots. I don't why she couldn't put that together, but it's okay as long as she felt like she was getting one whole, just one bag of candy instead of a bag with 100 pieces of candy in it. Long as she happy because she got her one bag of candy, I'm fine. Cut it out, girl. We good. Okay. So that's what it means to be optimized for Cricut. Cricut just would pitch a whole holy fit and take forever to open up all that whole bag of candy instead of just realizing it's the same bag of candy. It's just you don't have to count the pieces. She didn't want to count pieces. She's a heifer. I get it. I'm not mad. I don't like math either, Cricut. But I'm just saying. So that's what we're talking about when we're saying optimize for Cricut. Now, my concern with bringing the fabric over into Cricut is you need to be able to manipulate the individual dots over in Cricut, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll take a look and see and make sure that we're good with that. But Cricut is a little bit more, Cricut is not as user-friendly when it comes to rhinestones, okay? So we're going to show how this works without Cricut. And I'm going to show you why rhinestone fabric is so cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this back the way it was, where the individual polygons are there. But for right now, they're all grouped. And I'm going to take this grid off. I got to remember how to do it. I think it's over here. Yes. Show grid. No grid. All right. Cool beans. To make this easier. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to have to do this. This is crazy. Ugh, I hate having to do this. Do, 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 do. Sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. I wanted this to be back the way he had it created. All right, so let me take the grid back off. And this is one layer. This is the second layer. So what I'm going to do to make this easier is we're going to turn this a different color. So for now, I'm going to make this, let's not do black because that's a little bit too dark. Let's make it this sea green, okay? So I'm bringing it back over here on the mat, okay? Now we're going to be using layers tonight, so super cool. We're going to have fun with that. Now I'm going to grab these dots and I'm going to make these dots a different color as well. So let's go with something like, let's go with blue. Let's go with blue. All right, and so now to make sure that this is lined up perfectly with this, I'm going to bring it over and I'm going to lay it right smack dab over the top of this one. And now I have my layers, but keep in mind, as you can see, I can only see this one. So let's go to our layers panel. And remember, there's a group, there's a polygon, there's a group, and there's a polygon. I'm going to show you a trick because you can't see this. When I click on this group right here, they're talking about the group of dots. You follow me? Hopefully y'all are following me. Are you following me? Hopefully so. You did see what I did, right? So I'm going to grab this polygon, which is the square, and I'm going to grab this group and I'm going to move it. Okay? Let me know if I lose you, because this part is, I'm gonna have to make me a sign. This is one of the most important parts. This is a part, okay? Kai Smith says she's trying. Okay, so far so good for Bobby. All right, so remember when I brought his design in, it was this design here broken up. It had the full design, it had one layer, and then it had this layer, right? So there were 3 parts to the design. it was the full design, the first part and the second part. The first part of the design has a bounding box. The second part of the design has a bounding box. This is to help us line up these two layers, these two parts of the design. Okay. To make it easier for us to distinguish what layer, what part of the design is what layer, I changed the colors. So this part of the design is black circles with a gold box. This part of the design is kind of like a dark blue dots with a greenish background. Matter of fact, let's change this background to pink because it's too many colors. So pink with blue dots, gold with black dots. Okay. Now this is the full design. We're going to manipulate this design to make something super cool with this fabric. The fabric is the dots, the scattered dots. Okay. All right. Let me show you how this fits together. So I'm going to grab the first part of the design with its background, with its pink background, and I'm going to bring it onto our canvas. Now I'm going to grab the second part of the design, the black dots with the gold background, and I'm going to lay it right over the top of the other one, smack dab, boom, just like that, so that you cannot see the pink or the blue dots. Okay. So now that I brought the second layer and put it over the top of the first layer, you can't see the first layer. So I came and opened up the layers panel, which is over here on the lower right hand side. This is the layers panel, so that I can show you how we can see everything. So if I click on this first group, remember the collection of dots is a group. That is correct. The cutter doesn't care what color anything is. I'm just making it colors to help us distinguish and know what's what so that we can work with this design. That is absolutely correct. It doesn't matter what stone. You can use whatever color stones you want by the time this cuts out when we're done. Okay. So this is the second layer. But remember, a group is considered all of those dots grouped together. A polygon in this list is just the background square. That's all. A polygon is a shape. That's pretty much all that means. It's just a shape. I don't know why they didn't just call it a shape, but it's a shape. Okay. And this shape is a square. So if you click on the first group, which is a group or collection of dots, I can't tell right now, is it talking about these black dots or is it talking about the blue dots? Guess how you can tell? You can tell by looking up here at the color. See this color box up here in the upper left-hand corner? With this selected, it's black. So it's talking about these black dots. So let's grab this other group. Let's click this other group down here in our layers panel. Let's click this group and see this bounding box. This box, highlighted box, didn't change, but the color did. See how this color up here is now the green? So now we know that we're talking about, oh, we selected the green dots, not the black dots. Even though I'm looking at black right now, I know we're talking about green. Same thing with the shape. So let's click this polygon or this square, this shape, and notice it's pink. So that lets me know I'm working. If I do anything right now, if I hit my arrow key, it's going to move that pink box. See the pink box is moving. It wasn't the orange box. Okay. So that's how that works with the layers panel. The layers panel is super cool in helping you get done what you need to get done with this project. Okay. Now, layers are also super cool because you can manipulate everything that you need to manipulate by using your layers panel. What do I mean? So we've got 4 layers in this layer panel. We got the group of black dots, the group of green dots, the gold square, and the pink square. So I need to see what this looks like with the blue dots and the black dots together. So I'm going to grab this first group, not the first group. I'm going to grab the second group because the second group is what we can't see. And I'm going to bring it to the front. And I'm going to click right up here where it says bring to front. And by bringing that to the front, oh, thank you, Dennis. By bringing that to the front, now we can see everything. So this is the design right here. This is what both, if you take both sets of layers of dots for this fabric, this is what it's going to look like because we brought it to the front so that now we can see it. The thing is, I need to work with all of these dots at the same time. So that's why with this whole tutorial, this whole show is talking about the rhinestone fabric. This is what you're going to have to do when you're working with the fabric. You need to see all of the dots at the same time, and I'll show you why as we get going. But for right now, I brought them all in so that now you can see all of the dots the way they're supposed to be, the way they're lined up in this perfect circle, looking absolutely smexy, right? So here's a layer up here. Here's a layer down here. The blue dots are up here in this layer. The black dots are down here in this layer. So I'm going to grab this group of dots and I'm going to move it up here with the blue layer. So now the dots are on a layer together and then the squares are on a layer together. So now when I work with this, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to work with the dots and keep the squares where he made them. I don't want these dots to move off of their squares at all. I don't want this because if I shift this in any way, then when I try to cut this and put the box back, I'm not gonna know where the box goes. You see what I'm saying? So in order to make sure I'm good, because this is a round shape, this isn't the square shape. So to make sure I'm good, I want these boxes to not move. So to keep them from moving, I'm coming over to this layer panel where the boxes are, and I'm going to lock it. Okay. So by locking this layer, I can't move those boxes at all. I can't do anything with those boxes. Now I can move the dots, but I cannot move these boxes. Okay. But I don't want the dots to move. I want the dots to stay where they are. So another thing I can do just to keep from making it look crazy and that gold messing with me, I can turn it off just like you can in Cricut where you can't see it. It's still there and it's still locked, but I can't see it. Okay. Hopefully I did not lose you. Hopefully I did not lose you. Brushing it in, Kristen, is not the problem. The brushing it in is not the problem. The problem that even for me was lining it up. That's the problem. Okay, but we're gonna try and make this where it helps. Okay, so now let's have a little bit of fun. Now that we got the so-called hard part out of the way, let's do something a little bit fun. Now the shirt that I made, let's do this. Let me show you this. The shirt that I made is off of that exact circular scatter fabric. But look, I added something extra to it. See? That's the exact same thing. But what we are going to do is, now I may not use letters because letters is, work. I may do a shape because a shape is a little bit easier. But this is what I did with that exact design that you see on the screen. Well, what you saw on the screen that we moved together and put them together. So what I did was I took moss, icy moss, and then I took icy aquamarine. Not aquamarine, icy turquoise. I put icy turquoise, icy moss, and then I outlined it with corn silk. Outlined the letters with corn silk. So that's the design that I made. But in order to make this design, imagine trying to cut these letters out on each color layer individually. That would drive you absolutely insane. And it's virtually impossible to line it back up if you did it that way. So that's why we have to go through the whole process of putting these layers of dots back on top of each other like they're supposed to be, so that we can do the knockout of our letters or our shape or whatever it is that we're trying to do. That's the whole point by doing all of this. Okay. So the other thing that helps us by changing the colors of the dots for each layer is something else that you can do that's super cool. I'm going to grab both of these and I'm going to stress somebody out right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit ungroup. Okay. I'm hitting ungroup. Now, what ungroup has done is it has taken all of these dots and unlocked them all. So if you're like, if I come to you and I'm like, okay, but I need to cut out the first layer or I need to cut out the second layer, you might stress out and be like, okay, now I got to go through. Oh, actually, let's do this. I'm going to hit Control and the plus key to zoom in just a little bit. Matter of fact, let's boop just a little bit more. And I'm going to have to grab this black dot, hold down shift, grab that black dot, that black, and I got to, nope, you don't even have to do that. So what you can do is you can go to edit up here in the menu, edit. Okay. And then select by color. So as we're working with this, I need all of these dots to be unlocked, but when it's time for me to put them back together, I can go edit, select by color, and then by field. And this way I can grab the black dots individually, or I can grab the blue dots individually, and then I can group them back together. Okay. So hopefully you remember this. That's a really good tip that has been super helpful for me in working with rhinestones, is select by color. It's in edit and select by color. Okay. Now let's see what kind of shape I can find. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to use, oh my gosh, I don't see anything fun. A heart is kind of lame. You know what? Let's do letters. So I'm gonna grab my letters right here, or you can come over here to this side on the right hand side and click the letters text panel. And I'm gonna click right here and I'm gonna type in, what's a good word? Something simple. Somebody said a shield. Somebody said a heart. A heart is like, what's a good 3-4 letter word? Something cool. NC for North Carolina. That's a good one. NC for North Carolina. Love, cross, love, joy. Joy is a good one too. Grace, that's a good one. NC would have been cool, especially if I did Carolina colors. Love, 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 love. Deborah said happy. Evelyn said Eve. Pray. Okay. So many people said love. We're going to do love. Peace symbol would have been cute too. But we're going to do love. So I'm clicking my letters and I'm going to click up here and I'm going to type LOVE. Okay. LOVE. Thank you very much for your suggestions. Majority rules. We're going to go with love. So here is the word love. Now, in working with rhinestones, I have quite a few fonts that I love, no pun intended, to work with. And one of them is Ask Why. I also like Bold Vibes. Impact is always a go-to for me. But I want to go with the boldest I can get. So I'm going to click, actually, let's see what Ask. Let's do Ask Why, because I did Bold Vibes on my shirt. So let's select ask why. I'm going to change the color of this. Hey, Sharon Davenport, thank you so much for the super chat. Holla. Yas, honey. Yas. I'm sorry. Excuse me, spilling in the right thing. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's change this to orange so that we can see it better. And I'm going to take off this outline as well because I don't care for that. Okay, and so here is the word love. Now I want it to be kind of big. So let's grab this and I'm going to resize it. And I want it to kind of overlap and go over the edge some. Okay, so let's do our knockout. So I turned the color so that we can see it, but I'm going to turn the color back. So I'm sorry, not turn the color back, but I'm going to take the outline and put it back on and then take the color away. I just put it there so that we can see so that we can see where we're putting it on the thing. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me do something real quick. So there's love. Let me hold down shift. Did I group all this back? No, I didn't. I'm trying to make sure it's centered. That looks centered enough. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take the color off. I was going to grab it and center it. Okay. So now here is the word love. I'm going to ungroup the letters because I need the letters individualized. So let's ungroup. And now that they're ungrouped, now what I can do is I can drag into this letter. Let me zoom in. See my letter, see my red outline. I know it's hard to see it, but it's there. See that red letter L? I want to take all of the dots out of the middle of this letter. So I'm going to drag out here and I'm going to grab all of these dots that's touching this letter L and I'm going to hit delete. Why did I do that? That's not what I meant to do. Sorry. I'm going to hold down shift first, deselect the actual letter. Now I'm going to hit delete. Sorry. Told you the brain ain't doing right. So now all of those dots are gone. So let's go in here and I'm going to grab these dots. And I did it again. Y'all, it's going to happen because, again, now I can lock these letters, though. I can lock the letters. But for right now, let me hold down shift. Let's do that and then hit delete. Okay. Matter of fact, let's see if we can't lock these letters. Let's go into our layers panel. Let's hit select by color. Let's grab our black dots and I'm going to group those. And now let's select our blue dots and I'm going to group those. The reason why I'm grouping them, do you know why I'm grouping them right now? Let's go into our layers panel. The reason why I'm grouping them is so that I can have a group to select over here without not being able to select my letters. Okay. So here are my letters. So I'm going to take this letter, drag it down here. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Back up. Oh, that's right. That's hidden. That's hidden. I don't want it hidden. So I'm going to make a new layer. Layer number 2. Layer number 2 has nothing in it. This is layer 1. That's also layer 1, but this is layer 2. So I'm going to lock layer 2 and I'm going to grab the letter E, bring it up here. The letter V, bring it up here. The letter O, bring it up here. And the letter L and bring it up here. So now what's going to happen, because I moved those layers around, now I can work with the dots behind the letters and I don't have to worry about moving my letters or deleting my letters now. Okay. So let's get that out of there. Let's zoom back in. Okay, so there's my letter L. I can grab this dot now that I don't have to worry about clicking or moving my letter. Okay, so I'm gonna grab those two and oh, let's do this. Hold on, back up. So what you also can do that now, Dennis did a video on this too. Okay, not quite as wordy and not as time consuming It's a quicker video than this. And in his video, what he did was like right here where it's just on the edge, he just moved it off the little line just a little bit. And because this is a scatter of fabric, that doesn't hurt anything. You know, see, it is just, you know, it still looks good. So let's grab our letter O and start deleting. And what I like to do is make me a little space so that I can come in and start dragging. Drag a square, drag and select, drag and select. Okay. Drag and select. Makes it go faster. All right, I'm gonna move that one off. Are y'all able to follow this? Does this make sense? Do you see what I'm doing with putting this together? Does it make sense to you? I want to make sure I'm not losing anybody, and I want to make sure that this makes sense. Okay. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm trying to accomplish? All I'm doing is clearing out these letters so that I can put the word love in the middle of this scatter. Okay. Whoops. You good so far? Okay, cool. Cool. And make sure you save this video, bookmark it, because when I tell you I was fooling around with this and figured out the layers and how to lock these layers and how to select by color, y'all, game changer. Okay, less stress. We don't want to be stressed out working with our stuff. We want stuff to make sense. And by learning how to work with those layers, it made all the difference in the world. Bobby, actually not Bobby, Dennis, why do y'all call it fabric? I don't know. I'm going off of what he calls it. Because in a way, if you look at it, it does kind of look like fabric. Because it's like a blanket of rhinestones all laid out and such. So maybe that's why. I don't know. These are kind of dense in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just delete these on the edge. I don't want any stones touching the red outline at all. I don't want them. Now, if it's right here close to it, you know, that's one thing. I'm still going to back it up a little bit, but for the most part, I do not want any stones touching the actual red line, okay? Could you fill with color and subtract? Probably could, Jesse. That would make it faster, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can't do that. I haven't tried that. You know, I lie to you not. I thought about it, but I didn't know that that would work, and I was following the tutorial that I saw. So now that my letters are selected, let's fill it with color. Let's see if that works, because I don't know. It should. I don't see why not. So let's grab this letter, and we're going to go to our modify panel. And with the modify panel, if you do subtract, hover over the word subtract, and it says use the frontmost shape, which the V is in front of all of those dots. Use the frontmost shape to cut a hole in the backmost shape. The backmost shape can either be a single shape or a group. Now, this isn't a group. It's individual dots. So this may not work. So let's do this first before we try that. Since it says a single or a group, let's turn our dots back into a group. So we're going to go to edit, select by color. That would go a heck of a lot faster. Do you hear me, Jesse Gibson? Do you hear me? Okay. So we're going to select by fill. We're going to grab our black dots, remember, and we're going to group them. All right, and then we're going to grab our blue dots and we're going to group them. All right, so now let's click on our V, because now this is a group back behind it, and we're going to, it still might not work. Hold on. So now let's grab this and the black and group it together so that it's all one group. Let's see if that works. Okay, so I'm going to grab the V and grab the layer behind it. And now let's see if this works. I don't know. It might not. It says it's processing. Okay. So what it did do was it deleted my V. So let's try something else. Let's ungroup this. All right, and now I'm gonna grab my V and grab the blue, and now let's do subtract. See if that works. You would have to subtract each color. Okay, so I did the blue, but it still took away my V. I didn't want it to do the, so let's do subtract all. Let's see if that works. Let's do subtract all. Oh, yes. No. Oh, it's working. Which fabric burst? I am working, make a copy of the V. That makes sense. I am working with, I think it was number 2. Fabric burst 2. Okay, I done ticked it off because now it's swirling. Then paste. Copy, then paste. Duplicate the word love. Yeah. It looks like that's what I'm gonna have to do. But I done messed up now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see what it did. I don't like that because it didn't do what I thought it would do. Okay. All right, so let's do what you said. We're going to grab this. We're going to group it. Okay. And then I'm going to grab LOVE and I'm going to do Alt and drag and make a copy. So now let's grab that and let's hold down Shift. Now we're doing a little, this is a little more advanced than what I was trying to do originally, but it's no worries. There's that one, but it also leaves these half dots that I'm going to have to make sure to come in and clean up. Okay. So that's another way to do it, you guys. If you want to, you can go in there and you can clean it up by doing subtract. Or you can do it manually, because this is the thing. By doing it this way, I'm going to have to come in here and grab these halfsies and make sure that I'm taking these halfsies away. Okay. That's a halfsie. So, I mean, I'm having to delete them anyway, so I can delete them the other way as well. Now, one of the other things you want to pay attention to, in addition to what I'm doing now, you want to make sure that, see how these two circles are touching? You don't want touching circles. Okay. Let me put this back because I want to go and okay. We are going to do this, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to go back and we're going to lock that panel back. Boop. Okay. So I'm going to go back to doing this the muy difícil way. And let's grab this V. Not that. The V. Not that. The V. Not. Oh, I can't grab the V. Oh, explains why I can't grab the V. And we're going to make that clear. And now we're going to lock it. Okay. So let's go back to doing our diddy dots the hard way, only because that's like advanced techniques we had going on in there. I don't want to get too advanced. So let's grab that one, delete that one. Let's move that one up, move that over. Delete, 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 delete. Now, if you know how to use Illustrator, like Patrice knows, she's awesome sauce with Illustrator. I'm sure there are much easier programs you could use to do this with. This is not, keep in mind, please, that this is for folks who are not super proficient at using either Cricut or Silhouette. You don't really know Silhouette like that. And you're trying to accomplish what I'm doing or something different. Like others were saying, you could do a heart, honestly, when I was looking in the shapes panel, I was looking for an anchor, like a ship anchor. I thought that would have been super cute. So it's all kinds of ways to turn it into, you know, something super fabulous with just using this scatter that's already there. And that's one of the things. Now, also here shortly, I'm going to show you the one that I came up with. And it's not quite the same. Not quite, but it's kind of close. And I want you to see what my thought process was. But for now, 10 o'clock. And for now, I'm just doing this to show you how to do with the scatter that he has offered this week. Okay. So a lot of people, when they start doing this, actually, I want to keep that one. A lot of people love the scatter look around letters. And so this is kind of a easy way to do the scatter yourself and create a look that's really popular. Scatter is really popular. Okay. So grab this. Let's delete all of this. I can go straight up. This might be no dumb question. Can you do this in silhouette? Yes, that is absolutely correct. One of the other reasons why I love Silhouette Business Edition so much. You are talking about Silhouette Business Edition though, right? Let me make sure. You're talking about Silhouette. Whoops. I didn't want to go up and down. I wanted to go side to side. That was weird. All right, take out these 4. Move this down. Move that down. Actually, move this over a little bit. Move that out. Move that out a little bit. Move this out a little bit. Take that one. Take away that one. Move this up and move this there. And now what we have is a word in what? Why are you down here? How to get back in the ranks, sir? Okay, and now what you have is a scatter with a cutout. Okay, so now that we have our scatter the way I want it to be, I'm gonna move this down just a little bit right in there. Move this one over, and da 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 da. Okay, that looks a lot more. Okay, so now that I have this the way I want it, right? I'm done moving my dots around. I don't want to move my dots around anymore, period. I'll be going there to get my couple of things. I'm going to send you a message. It is easy in the DIME program as well, especially to create the scatter. Yes, to create the scatter, yes, which I need to do a few videos in the DIME program because I do love that program for rhinestones too. So let us now, we're going to select by color again because I'm done moving dots around. I don't want to move any more dots. I don't see any of my dots stuck together, and I'm going to show you something else. So say for instance, you have your scatter and you want to put this on a shirt, and you need to know how many blue and how many black stones to do. So let's grab our blue. Okay. And we're going to group it. Bloop, just like that. So all of our blue is grouped, but our black isn't grouped yet. So now what I want you to do is hover over one of the blue dots and right click. And when you right click, you have an option to undo, but look what it says. Undo 408 shapes. So that lets me know I can take a pencil and a paper and write down that that was 408 blue dots. So how many blue dots how many stones am I going to need for the blue dots? I'm going to need 408. Okay. And now let's grab our black. Nope, we don't want to grab our black that way. We want to select by color. Let's grab all the black ones. And we're going to group that. And after we group the black ones, now let's grab. Oh my gosh, I did that all kinds of wrong. Sorry. You got to do it all in one fell swoop. Let's group it and then right click. And then that's 361 black dots. Okay. 361 black dots. So 408 plus 361 is math. All right. So now that we have all of our dots, they're grouped together. I'm done messing with that. So now let's go back into our layers panel. And I locked the letters. She said 755. Huh, there it is. We're going to unlock our letters now. I'm going to leave my background locked and hidden. But now I'm unlocking my letters. So I'm going to grab this L and I'm going to go into my rhinestones panel. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to create an outline of my letters. So let's take this L and I'm going to do an edge of rhinestones on the letter L. Now that I clicked, so all I did was, let's back up. Let's move over and let's zoom in. So all I did was I selected the letter L. I'm in my rhinestones panel. I clicked on the rhinestones panel. I have SS10, or if you in your SS6 era, you can choose that, but I'm not. So I'm going to do SS10. And then right here up above SS10 is edge fill. And I'm going to click on edge. Okay. Not edge fill, but edge. Now, once you do an edge, I'm going to go ahead and change the color so that I can see it better and be able to look at these dots. So this dot is a little close. This dot is kind of like overlapping. Now, what I will say is this. Unless you're cutting all of this out as one color, it's okay for these to touch. The reason why it's okay is because this is these dots are separate layers, so you can kind of like manipulate the stone a little bit. But if you want to be 100% sure that you're good and nothing's touching, we'll fix this here in a minute. Okay. So let's move over. Let's go to our letter O. So I'm clicking to select the letter O. I'm still in my rhinestones panel. I'm still going to do an edge. And then I'm going to change the color. All right, now let's grab our letter V. I'm still in the rhinestone panel. I'm still going to do edge. And I'm going to change the color. Now let's move over to our E. I'm going to grab the E. Still in my rhinestone panel. I'm going to click on edge. And then I'm going to change the color. Why am I changing the color? I'm changing the color so that, number one, I can see what stones are overlapping. Or number two, so that when I go to select all of these stones, which is 3, because we did this with the rhinestone panel, I know there's 355 red stones right here to make this word love. Yes, this is definitely an advanced class or an advanced process to get this done. All right, so let's back out. And now, doesn't that look good, y'all? Oh my God, that is so cute. Now, there's another way you can do, instead of an offset, you can do an inset and put the stones a little bit closer in and not overlap the stones. But, you know, me personally, I preferred to just leave the letters the way I like the way the letters look. And then I'm just going to go back and clean up the stones in the background. Okay. So let's grab our L, let's grab our O, let's grab our V, let's grab our E, and I am going to release these rhinestones, 355 of them, and then I'm going to group them together. So now my love, see how it cuts out in the background? My love is there. Okay. So let's go back to our layers panel. The LOVE is one group. I'm going to lock that. You don't have to do all this locking and unlocking. I'm doing it to make sure my stuff doesn't move. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our dots, which are grouped, and I'm going to ungroup them again. Why am I ungrouping them again? because I need to come in here and clean up these stones that are overlapping. So I'm going to either move them so that they're not, you know, touching, or I'm going to delete them. Okay, it's up to you how you want to do it. You can leave them there. You can move them around, or you can just delete them. Okay, it's up to you how you want to do that part. Boop, boop. And I'm just going through and paying attention to where everything is, moving stuff around, sliding stuff over, and getting it where, you know, I got enough stones right there. So it's not that big of a deal right there for me to delete. I'm going to move that one. I'm going to move this one. Move this one down because they were too close anyways. This ain't that kind of a party. So, you know, move. All right, let's delete that one, that one, that one. We'll move this over some, space this out. See what I'm saying? It's up to you. It's not, you know, law. It's not, it has to be done a certain way or whatever. This is for you to get creative, for you to have fun, for you to get some experience working with a rhinestone design and customizing it to something that you want it to be. That's the whole point in doing this rhinestone fabric. Okay. That's the whole point. You got a really pretty scatter that you can play with and that you can work with and make something really unique, because other folks, y'all was calling out a bunch of different words now. So all these folks that were saying these different words, I'm expecting to see a scatter with these words on the shirt. Now, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So the one thing, not the one thing, but one thing that I've learned through the years in working with rhinestones and rhinestone designs and such, it's a lot funner when you have a design that you made and you absolutely love it. Okay. Also, you can use this to your advantage. How can you use this to your advantage, Eve? What are you talking about? Guess what? What else can you do with something like this? Give me some ideas of what you can do other than just pulling random words and saying, you know what, I want one that says bird, or I want one that says cat. I want one. You can make one that says dog mom and put a paw in it. And guess how many dog moms would probably buy the shirt? Hello. You can make one that says gamer or game on, or, you know what I'm saying? You can totally rock this into something that's going to help make you, if you want to. Now, if you want to sell shirts and find you a target audience, you totally can do it, but you got to think and you got to put the brain power in on this. You know, you could do one that says I don't know, you could do one that says not survivor, because that's a long word. What's something else? I'm serious. Put a flower. You could do ombre. What else? What else could you do word wise? Like, for instance, you could do maybe Phi Beta Zeta. I don't know, the Greek letters, and cut them out of this scatter. I don't know if there is a Phi Beta Zeta, and you could do it in those colors. You could do she said help cat mom. You could do, you see what I'm saying? Like, you think about this thing. Think about this thing and what you could do. Ooh, I'm gonna tell you something else you could do. You could do Rams. I don't know. Is there a team called the Rams? I don't even know. My brain can't find one right now. But say a little team, the Rams, and use the dots and put the dots in the colors of the teams. So say if the Rams were black and blue, like this is Cowboys. Cowboys, you could probably, Cowboys is gonna be a long word, but you probably could. You see what I'm saying? Grandma, mom. You see what this is? You see where I'm going with this? Like, you could totally personalize this and make it, oh, LA Rams, my bad. You could totally personalize this and make it into something that's going to sell. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Listen, Linda, listen. What am I saying at? Listen, Linda, listen, listen. Dag nabbit. What am I saying? I can't. Oh, here it is. Listen, Linda, listen, listen. I'm trying to help you make money. Okay. I'm trying so hard. It makes no sense. I can barely sleep trying to think of ways to help y'all make money off of these rhinestones because you got to feed your own habit. I'm just saying, you can't just get high off your own supply and not do nothing to put the supply back. I'm just saying. I'm trying so hard. So this is what I'm saying when it comes to being able to come up with certain ideas. There are a lot of really good ideas out there to help you. Now, this is done. I'm done. This is a completely done thing. I can save this now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock everything because I'm done. And I'm going to, well, I can't unlock everything, but I'm unlocking this part for right now. And I'm going to show you why I can't unlock everything just yet. So let's finish this out. Let's bring this home. Let's go. Let's run out. We own all bases are loaded. Let's knock the home run and bring everybody home. So the word love is already grouped. So I'm good. Let's do select by color, edit, select by color, by fill, and we're going to select black. Now we're going to group those. Select by color, by fill. Let's grab the blue and we're going to group those. So now I have 3 groups. I have the word love is a group. The black dots is a group. The blue dots is a group. The only part that I'm super concerned with is the dots. Okay. So now that that's all grouped, let's go back to our layers panel. And when we go to our layers panel, now I can see my 2 squares. Let's unlock that. Well, actually, let's make it show it. And now let's unlock it. Now, remember, our black dots, which this part really doesn't matter, but I'm doing it just procedure. The black dots group, hold down shift, and the orange square, I'm going to group that. And I'm going to move it off to the side. What does that leave? That leaves my blue square, my pink square, and my word love. So now I'm going to grab my pink square and my blue square. I'm going to group that and I move that to the side. Now I have just the word love and I'm good. So I took a design that was 1 layer here, 2 layers here, and turned it into 3 layers. So I'm going to cut my 3 colors. I'm going to cut the black, I'm going to cut the blue dots, and then I'm going to cut my red. But I grouped my bounding box around it because this is going to help me line up my designs. Does that make sense? Now, I thought of something else to help line it up, but that's a whole nother process. It's not a hard process, but so now I can line this up when the time comes, when I go put this in the thing and line it up, and I'll be able to have my design. Okay. All right. So Dennis has been making suggestions that I didn't think about. So hopefully you've been checking that out. Remember, on his website, he actually has other scatter patterns. Here's some here. If you want to find the others, come up here and type in fabric. And you can find fabric. You also could possibly make your own fabric if the fabric that he's offering here on his site doesn't fit your needs. And now let's show you the fabric that I came up with, so that you can see what I did, which at the time I didn't know it was fabric. It's just, it was something that I thought was a super cool design that I came up with. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be cute. Okay. So let me show you what I came up with. So we're going to open up a new page, and I am going to open recent, and I am going to grab this one, I think. Okay. So this is, whoops. This is the one that I came up with. The only thing is I spaced it so that I can cut it out and manually duplicate it over on the cutting table. But for now, this is actually how the design is that I came up with. Okay. And you probably like, Eve, what in the whole cuss? Why is that so significant? Why did you even want that? Well, the reason why these need to be lined up, by the way. The reason why I was like, ooh, I love this, because my goal was to cut this out. And I was my thought was to put the word unique right here through the middle. And I was going to, in like crystal or crystal AB, the outline for the word unique, or the cursive word unique. I ain't decided just yet, but the same principle applies. You see what I'm saying? This is what I had been working on in the background anyway. The same principle applies. I'm going to have to knock out the word from these sticks, right? And they kind of have like a 3D-ish effect. Look, you see how it kind of looks 3D-ish. You don't know which way it actually is or not. But my goal was to do this in the colors like Marilyn's crayon shirt, which if you were in the live last night and watching us last night, she showed her shirt. It was the AB colors. And I wanted each one of these to be an AB color so that, you know, it could showcase the AB colors. Or it could be complementary colors like sapphire AB, sapphire AB. Or I was looking at icy colors, or you see what I'm saying? This is stuff that my little crazy brain comes up with over in the middle of the night, and like, ooh, I wonder how that would look. So this is a scatter, not a scatter. This is kind of like a fabric pattern as well, that I can use. I can ungroup all of this, knock out what colors I want. I mean, knock out what I want to knock out and do the rest in color. So let's, like for instance, let's take this and we're gonna go with let's say we're gonna go with orange. Orange, you glad I picked orange? And we're gonna go orange, and we're gonna go, well, let's do this because ain't nobody got time for that, man. And then let's do orange, and another color that's pretty good with orange, let's go with blue. Okay, even though my brain said yellow, let's do yellow just because it's right there. All right, and then I'm gonna take this off. So now I have I can do any color scheme I want. Actually, I could just have done it in tones if I wanted to match the tones. Like that's that orange. We can go with a darker orange, which doesn't look bad, you know. And then somewhere in here, I can do a knockout, which is what we were doing before. So we can take this and we can break this up, even though it's taking forever because that's a lot of dots. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was working on myself. So with this love design, that's what we have so far. Let's go. What did I say? Unique. NIQUE. And the font that I'm going to use is Impact, probably not Altron. Where did that come from? That's the one I wanted. Let's go with Impact. Oh, there we go. Boop. All right, and then we'll make it bigger. Not big enough. Bigger. And then, like Jesse said, totally could do a knockout. Probably shouldn't have picked orange because let's make this black because I can't see it. All right. and do the same process where I'm going to delete stuff out from behind the word unique and do an outline for the word unique. You see what I'm saying? So that's where, you know, you can kind of come up with your own thing as well. That is not the color I meant to click on. There we go. So you can come up with your own thing as well and get it to be what you want it to be. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot that you can do with rhinestone fabric and get rhinestone fabric to work. Okay, so that was a lot. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I did warn you. It was gonna be kind of like heavy. But that was a lot. That was a lot to unpack. There was a lot to look at. There was a lot to learn. But quick recap somewhat. If you missed all of this and you're just now tuning in, the point that we were covering is to take a rhinestone fabric or a blanket of stones and then cut out of that blanket of stones something that you want out from the back, and then make it look as if it came out of that particular design. And this is one that I did before the live, and I made it say faith. And the exact process that we just went through is what I did in silhouette. If it wasn't 1030, I would try it. Well, we still technically can try it in Romeo. Let's see. Not Romeo. What's the name of this thing? Actually, you know what? Let's be super bold. We're gonna be super bold. We're gonna be daring. Let's be daring. He said no. Too late. I'm already in here. Why? What do you need me to do? Let's see. Huh? Oh, he said not be daring. Okay. He told me not to be daring, y'all. So we're not gonna fool with Cricut. But I do want to see if Cricut gonna pull in. Let me just see if Cricut is gonna pull in this thing, because that's something I do want to do. Project already exists. Let's replace. Upload. I just want to see if it still uploads like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Because that's how Cricut was. Cricut was just like, oh my God, I can't take it. This is entirely too much stuff. And I was like, bro, it ain't that bad. Let's go fabric burst, and I'm not gonna do the design space one. I'm gonna do the regular one, and let's hit open. I just want to see what it says up here. Wow, that's a large image. This may take a moment. You see what I'm saying? She complaining already. She complaining already. And the thing is, if I do the Cricut version, I can't separate the dots. It didn't do too bad. Let's see. How long will it take right here? Let's see. It ain't too bad. It's not too bad. I don't know. I mean, but I have a pretty strong processor with my computer. Your computer may take longer to pull it up if you don't have the same type processor. So I don't know. You can try it and see, but you can go, since it did pull it up, you might can go through the exact same thing that I did with silhouette. You might can do in Cricut, but you see this is taking forever for me to unselect it and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So Cricut is not really the program for working with all these individual dots. It just isn't. It just isn't. What size am I running? You talking about computer? I have no earthly clue. I don't know what size or anything. I just know it's a game. Usually to get a computer that can run stuff like Illustrator and stuff like that, a gaming computer actually works really well, and that's what I have. I don't know how much memory I got. I don't know how much space I got. I don't know. I just use it. So that's Cricut. So if you can do it in Cricut, you can do it in Leonardo Design Space. Okay. It is Cricut. It could come in quick 1 minute and a second later it could take forever. Click make. No, I click delete because he didn't want me to go into that because it's time consuming. Okay. So that's where we are, you guys. I'm hoping you can have fun with this. Let's go over to the table and we're going to actually work on this one that I did. I'm going to make one, put it on a bag, do it as a giveaway, and put it in with the pile of other giveaway from 2 weeks ago that I need to ship out and ship this stuff out. Okay. So what am I doing? I am doing this right here. And that'll give me a minute to take a quick drink because I am super thirsty. Let's cut an extra light on over there. And let me grab my icy mocha. And we're going to come over here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm leaving my microphone. Oh. And we're going to work on a design. Okay. All right. So here it is. All right. And the thing that concerns me more than anything with this, I'm going to show you a way you could probably get this to make sure that it lines up the way it's supposed to. Okay. Because lining and stuff up is challenging. All right. So let us start brushing this in. The colors that I did here, like I said, are icy corn silk. We got icy corn silk, icy moss, and icy right here. Where are you at? Right here. Icy turquoise. Because I'm thinking, nope, not icy sky, icy turquoise. So this time what I'm going to do is, let's go, I got a black bag and a pink bag. Let's go with, I don't know that that's going to look good. So let's go with a black bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do icy sky this time and icy honey. Let's do icy sky and icy honey. I think that's going to be pretty. All right. So like Karen, you had mentioned, not Karen, Kristen, you had mentioned earlier, you were saying, you know, it's a pain. It could be scary, intimidating to brush in. The brushing in isn't the part, it's lining it up that can be intimidating. But we're going to try and demystify some of that here in a moment. By using something simple to help ourselves and make sure that it's going to work. I did cut out my little pattern, but I cut out just the shape. I didn't cut out the word unique in it. So I got to work on that and try and get that done. And then hopefully I can do something with it then. But that was a design that I came up with in one of my feverish resting sessions. I was running a fever and in and out of consciousness. Okay, so see, that wasn't tragic to brush in at all. Let me check and make sure there are no stones left in the brush. I'm gonna go over this with my hand, get any loose stones off. Oh, I did that already. Oops. Okay. There's that, and we're going to get a this one. I'm gonna use this one. Bloop. Drop it down. Rub it around. Drop it down and rub it around. Oh. Gotta cut that on. Else it ain't gonna work. Now, I am going to press this in layers. I am not going to layer it like I would sometimes do. So there's one layer of stones. Make sure it's not going to get caught. All right, so we just did Icy Sky. And now I'm going to do Icy Honey. Oh, I got Icy Honey right here. Wax on, wax off. Y'all. Okay. And so likewise, we're just going to use our brush, push these stones, you pour in more stones than you need so that the stones can use each other to turn the wrong side ones right side up into the holes. So that's why we pour so many out. It don't take a whole ton, but you know, you do what you got to do to be comfortable brushing these stones in. So even if it means extra stones, it's not that big of a deal. Some people like to do stones one at a time. Again, up to you. Whatever gives you peace of mind while working with your stones. You do you, boo, as Marilyn's shirt design says. YD. YB. Okay. Brush that in. Brush that in. All right. And put that in there and push these off to the side. Okay, order 1039. All right, cool. And so these stones, the Icy Honey and the Icy Sky, and the ones in my shirt, which I said were Icy Turquoise, Icy Corn Silk, and Icy Moss is in the hotfixfix.store. Also, we now have our Icy Moss and SS6. That'll be listed as well because those are in now. So keep your eyes open for that to be listed or that to be added because Icy Moss is already there, but it's an SS10. So we're going to put the SS6 just in case you're in your SS6 era. All right. So this is the Icy Honey. So let us, I'm going to cut a piece made for this. I'm bad about cutting it too small, so we'll see here in a second if I cut it the right size or not. Okay. Thank you. Heat press. Pre-press this bag so you can put the design on there. And I am pre-pressing. We recommend pressing the stones 350 degrees for 15 roughly seconds. And if you cut a piece of tape and you put it down and it's too small, it doesn't cover all the stones. Like you see up there at the top, see up here, it didn't catch those. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. All you got to do is see, look, I got all this extra tape over here. All I'm going to do is cut this off. Cut Cut this off the side because all of these are there, and I'm just gonna tape this to the top. Boop, just like that to grab those stones over the top. It does not affect the pressure of pressing this by layering the tape like that. It's not a problem. And now let's pick this up. And I'm going to just lay this right here and flip this back over because now I need to bling that. All right, so I did Icy Sky, Icy Honey. So I'm going to use, let's see, Sky. It's not Sky, this is Sky. Sky Honey. Let's do Icy Peridot. I think that green would be pretty with that. Or should I do Icy Crystal AB? Let's do Icy Crystal AB. Hopefully it's right here, and I ain't got to look for it. I gotta look for it. Wait a minute. What are you? No, I gotta look for it. Actually, I don't. It's right here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I haven't done this in a minute, so let's do Icy Crystal. I haven't played with crystal in a little bit, so let's do Icy Crystal. It's gonna be pretty too. Okay. Icy Crystal doesn't get enough love. We need to show Crystal some love. I need a fabric softener sheet because my brush is hanging on to stones. So we can get that. Boom. All right. So that's done. There, put that right there. Put that right there. This one right here. That one right there. This one right here. Right here. Whoops. And then this one right here. All right. There's that. And now let's pick this one up. I'm gonna use this. And then we'll get the layering. Okay. So again, this is a little challenging because the scatter, I did not do what I was supposed to tell y'all to do. Or I did not do what I meant to suggest that you do. And what I meant to suggest that you do is mark your tape. So knowing, for instance, this we know is right side up because we know how to spell and we know how letters are supposed to be on, you know, when you're reading it. But this scatter, you can kind of make out the outline of the A and the T. You can kind of do that on this side, not quite as easily. You can tell that A, you got the 3 dots there, but the rest of it, you see what I'm saying? So when it comes to lining up, that might be a little challenging. So there's a couple of ways to do it. I could have marked my tape with like a Sharpie. It was like this side up. Before I picked the tape up with the rhinestones on it, I could have, kind of like I know this is the right way up. I could take a little Sharpie. Well, I know it's the right way up because remember I had to put that extra piece of tape at the top. See how that's extra? So that helps me know that this is the right side up. But on the blue one, I don't have anything marked. So I could have done that. There's other little things that you could possibly do to help you know what side is what. But we're just going to roll with it right now. I'll pull this up a little bit higher. All right, just a little bit. Instead of centered, I kind of want it to be more like 2/3. Okay, and let's press this. Yeah, I could press FAVE first, but I want to be sure that the size, that the circle goes where I wanted it to go. That's smart. Slice out a little square on the template in the lower left corner. That's an excellent idea. Mark the top to know where to match it up. Yep. You would wear FAVE just like that. It's pretty. It is definitely pretty. 3, 2, 1. All right, now we want to peel this hot, okay? So let's bring it over. And while it's smoking, we're going to take this off. Ooh, Lord. And look at that. Look at that bling. Can you see the face, the shadow for the word FAVE? It's pretty. So I'm going to grab this because this is definitely hot and I don't want to warp my table. Give me a little bit of protection up under here. It's not a lot, but it's something. All right, now we're going to put our word FAVE in here. Now we're going to put our word FAVE. So remember our 3 lines of our stones right here go in the letter A. So that helps. And then, you kind of just want to eyeball it and make sure that none of your stones are overlapping too much or anything like that. And then I got a stone that went rogue on me. So let me grab this and put this down. I don't know why it flipped out on the tape. I think I know why, but make sure everybody else is happy, copacetic. Look there. Oh, y'all. Oh, my God. I ain't even did a peel reveal, and that's already pretty. All right, so let's grab this. That crystal. That crystal is crystalline. So if you are not up to date right now, you don't have live in red over here in this lower left-hand corner, refresh your browser, whatever you need to do, because by the time I press this second layer, do the peel reveal, show it, it'll be time to do a drawing for the giveaway of this bag, okay? All right, so here it is, hot off the press. It's interesting how, what is this, like 40, 50 years later, hot off the press means something entirely different. Look at there. Look at that. Look at that. I ain't even holding it up the right way, and you can see the, woo, Lord. Okay. Look at that. Super pretty. Super pretty. Super pretty. Super pretty. Oh, that is your name. Yep, you sure do. Okay. So now with this one, I can kind of tell that's how this is supposed to go. I'm going to line it up and see if I'm right. I'm pretty sure that goes in there like that. So far, everything looks good. That looks good. My circle is lined up. My circle up here is lined up. That helps. Everything. I don't see anything overlapping. Or do I? Yep, I see a little bit overlap. Hold on. Let's slide this over some. There we go. That looks a lot better. Oh, Oh, that looks so good. That looks great. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got a stone right there in the F. I don't know why it's in there. Because remember, it's not supposed to have anything in the letter. So I'm just going to move this little booger down here somewhere. I don't know why he was up there. But it lines up. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Y'all, I swear. I swear. I swear. All right. And that's that. Let me pick up my stones because I did not do that. And I'm always supposed to. Let me pick those up over there either. And I got some in the brush. Because I need static electricity thingamabobbies. Dryer sheets. And we're done. Let's do the final peel reveal. Final peel reveal. And there we go. Look at that. Mercy. Not mercy. Faith. Probably should have put mercy on there. And there we go. We did this. Well, I did this one earlier before going live. And again, we use, and I'll show it to you in that front camera, but we did Icy Honey, Icy Sky, and Crystal to create this design. Okay. The love is going to be just as pretty. So I'm going to try and bling that love one later, and I'll probably put it on this pink bag. Okay. All right. So let's go back over because we are out of time. And let's set up our StreamYard giveaway tool so that we can finish up. All right. And so thank y'all for coming to hang out with me tonight. Thank you for waiting on me and missing me last week because I missed you guys. But here is the Faith. Here is Faith. And so, like I said, let's bring it a little bit closer so that you can see the honey and the sky and the crystal stones. Okay. And we basically took a design that was created that was all solid stones all the way in the middle, brought in the letters. And, you know, just pretty much what we needed to do in order to get our stones moved around and layered and whatever all we needed to do in order to get this done. Okay, so let's do this word right here. Sound is back. Is the sound gone? Back. Okay, it's back. Okay, sorry. I didn't know I lost my mic, probably going out. I don't know why it doesn't last the full show much anymore. All right, so let's share screen. And that is the word we are going to use, is fabric. And like I said, this is just for a tote bag. This says Faith. So you type in the word fabric and we will do a giveaway for this bag. If now I know last week I have the list of folks from last week. Actually, you know what, never mind, because I don't have any issues from any of that. But anyway, never mind. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Hopefully it wasn't too much stress, too much OMG, I can't believe she actually put me through a semester of college just to make a design that she could just make it and sell it or whatever, but I can't because number one, that scatter does not belong to me. But the one that does, that I intend to put the word unique behind, y'all know how it is. I want to do something. I'm halfway through it. I just gotta see it all the way through. And once I talk about it and get it done, get it talked about and stuff, it's like, bro, I don't know. Do I have time to do it? Do I want to do it? Yada yada yada. So hopefully I will see it through and get the unique design, or I may do the design and not even like it, and that'll make me scrap it too if I don't like it. So all right, you guys, so let's go ahead and draw. Again, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me tonight. It was a lot of fun. Next week hopefully we'll be back to our regularly scheduled show, and then we can find something else fun to do. Connie's Creations LLC. Yes, honey. Yes, congratulations, Connie's. Definitely click the link in the description below and fill it out with your name, your address, so that I can get this out to you as soon as I get stuff in the mail. For those who, like I said, for those who won the tattoos 2 weeks ago, I will be getting those out, Lord willing, this week. But just to do a quick recap, this is the shirt that I had on earlier. What the hell sandwich that happened to my camera? Oh, I know what happened. Is this the right one? Yeah. Well, it's still kind of fuzzy looking. But this one is turquoise, icy moss, and corn silk, icy corn silk in this shirt. Okay. Same design, same concept that we did earlier today. I mean, during our show. And this one is icy honey, icy sky, and icy crystal on this bag. And congratulations, Connie's Creations, on winning the giveaway of this bag. Okay. So thank y'all. I hope you have a great evening. I'm ready to go turn it in for the night. Oh, actually, you know what? Here, this was done on Delonda's channel last night. Just to show you, this is her design. Her link to her Etsy is below. And this is this is Siam on the outside. The next one in is light Siam. Then the next one in is candy apple, and the middle two are royal candy apple. So there's this design. Turned out super pretty. This is on Delonda's Etsy. And then this one is jet black. Then jet AB. Then black diamond. Then jet black again. And then the inside is jet hematite. So again, this was done over on Delonda's channel. So we had fun last night. If you missed that, please go check that out, y'all. Honey, we had a ball. Okay, last night was a lot of fun. So at any rate, you guys have a great evening. Again, thank you for coming to hang out with us. We definitely appreciate it over here. And until the next time we see you all, we hope you have happy blinging. I'm exhausted. I'm going to drink my water, take my medicine, antibiotics, and go to bed. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.